Hello and welcome back to the episode of Gregtech 6. Last episode I made a generation of bioethanol and improved it a bit compared to the past. Today I'm going to start my first smelter. Yes, first. I'm probably going to make 3 of them, but this is going to be one of the most complex one. Or I'll better say over engineer. So let us go. First things first, as you can see, things look very different now. My production of ethanol is here, and I have other machines here. But don't worry about it. They are not permanent. After I have been playing around with the design of my factory, I found one that I find kind of interesting. So because of that, I'm gonna change that part as well. I have moved all my stuff from here to here into the compartment drawers of lead and germanium, and even kind of categorize them into ore, dusts, gems, and stuff here. But before this becomes even more longer, let's go for my alloy maker, my sequencer quad alloy maker, because it can make 4 alloys in sequence. Ah, what a surprise! And to make it bear even happier, the crucible is quartz, and the burning box is inward, so maximum efficiency. Since we're gonna have 4 outputs, we need to actually set up a system to make them work into a certain direction. So let's go down here to see there is nothing here. Because, yes, this will be a little lesson. So buckle up and go with me. Here we have the thermometer that we're gonna tick the pouring of the metal into the molds and request more material. So let's bring it down all the way here. Let's make it a little pulse generator. I'm gonna make my own design. It is a block here. It has some repeater on top. Set it to 3. Then I put a redstone torch powering the block. A cable connecting to the repeater, and the repeater connect to the block itself. With a repeater facing the block. Now I just need to connect this. Let's make a quick button here. And we're gonna put a stone torch here. It's gonna burn because this is power ready. So every time I click the button, it tickles very fast. You cannot adjust the length with the tick. With one tick it's gonna be too fast. It won't even tickle. With 2, it's a super fast one. 3, it's a medium one, not too long, not too short. And 4, a little bit longer, but still shorter than the normal pulse of the signal. Now, those are the blocks that are going to hold the hoppers and allow them to insert items into the system. So let's make blocks below them. One here, another here, into the little merry-go-round. Easy, isn't it? Let's put some wire. I hate it when you do that. Now we're gonna connect this here and put the headphone torch here. Then connect this one here, another repeater, this one here, and another repeater, and the last one repeater. Now when I place a torch on top of it, you see that the torch is gonna burn out. Now connect the cable to the torch. Yes, you can connect cables to vanilla redstone torches. Very useful. Now every time I click the button, you can see the torches are gonna light up briefly and burn again. So our pulse is set, but as I said before, we need to make them into a sequence. So only when one is completely done making the alloy, it will go for the next one. So I have to actually set up some precautions for that. In this case here, I'm gonna make it kind of simple. That sometimes separation can be. This is gonna be the one powering the cable to not allow the hoppers to inject. I'm gonna make a system that's gonna lock this on here by a redstone signal into the block here, making this an AND gate. Then have another one going down here. So let's put the cable here. I had some torch. And just for the sake of showing you, I'm gonna put a lever here. Now go to the side of the block that is right here, and then go do something. No. And I don't want to craft a knot. Cutter before this one run out. Let's run it down here. Let's put a repeater here. Yes, a repeater. Connect to this block here. And here we're gonna have a redstone torch. Now this repeater here is blocking this block here from ticking. That is turning off and on again. So when I press the button, only one torch is gonna light up, and the others don't. So as long as this cable here is holding that block hostage, not any other one will not activate. When it cannot work anymore and power the block itself, it will allow the other ones to tick. So I will have to do the same thing with the other blocks. Only this one here, it was the most complicated because it's so close to my post that I don't have too much space with work here. This one here, chassis. Again, bring this down. A repeater. Now it's going to stop in that one. I'll do the same thing for the other ones. Don't be afraid that the cables are so close together. You're not going to run too much stuff here, down here. I had to put a cover here so I can place it on top of pipes, or it won't accept it. And now it's done. And as you saw, I put a kind of delay here. Because if I don't put any delay, when there's one here, pour the last material and turn this signal off, if there is no delay, this will still tick the next one, and I'm gonna end up having 2 alloys inside. I don't want that, so each one going to be 4 ticks delay. If you want to increase it even more, that's up to you. So the pulsing of the 4 runs into sequence has been set. And since there's this last one, we don't actually require a cable here. There is nothing to turn off. Not immediately. Maybe in the future. Now let's start setting stuff here. For that I'm gonna require more material for my chest here. Since I clean up the place here, I have a lot of material lying around. Let's pick some lead hoppers. I don't need that much, I think. I'm gonna pick this bronze one as well. Some more cables. And I think this is all for now. And something to decoration if you want. Now what I'll be using this? I'll be using this to make it, as I said before, 4 alloys into sequence. Because there are some alloys that they're gonna require into great amount, and I want them to be made kinda in the automatic way. Like those alloys are gonna complete each other. Into the future. It is even possible now. I can actually use the smelter and some mixes to do some alloys. But there is stuff that is still require the crucible, like iron. I cannot make iron of the limonite and hematite using the smelter and mixes. So we still have to use the crucible for that. That's the main reason for build this. So in this side here, I'm gonna make it iron. First one is gonna be from hematite, from limonite. That's gonna be very numerous. So I have one for the hematite, the limonite, sorry. Hematite is really in my head. This one is going to be for one limonite. This is for the other limonite, for carbon, and for calcite. Now if I run the cable here, it's going to be powered. So this you prevent the hoppers to actually output it. I don't need to put in this one because this one is gonna hold the things in place. Now let's go into top of it and configure stuff. Limonite, when melted down into the crucible, becomes hematite. One become half hematite. And to make iron, we require 5 hematite, 1 carbon and 1 calcite. So I'm going to need at least 10 pieces of it. So let's put the 10 pieces here and 10 here as well. This is 1 and 1. One can arrange to make it exactly, and we are set. Now, as I said before, I want this to actually kind of lock itself out when there is not enough material to make it one alloy, or it has completely run out and allow the other one to be able to work. So as by default, let's put some item ohmmeters. One here, this here don't need it, one here, and should be one here. But I have some kind of complaints that making the item meter might be too expensive because it requires gold, and gold is not that easy to come by for some people, or maybe just be unlucky. So instead of using an item meter, you can actually use a medium weight sensor. They require a pressure plate instead of gold, so to be more affordable. So just place it on your hopper and see how much that weight. That one last is for calcite. Wow. One calcite dust only weight about 84. Wow. That's so little. So here you can go that when it is lower than 80, you don't need to be specific about it. It's never gonna have when it has less than a single unit of calcite, give a signal, and you as well. This one is for carbon, so when there is less than 1, or if you want, you can just put it to equal to 0. And this one here for the limonites, when there is less than 10. Let's put headstone signal. Yes, 10. Because we require 10 to make the alloy. And even though this one can and will output here, because I set this here to exactly 10, it will only output 10 at a time. So even if I throw this brown here, only 10 we're gonna arrive here. But the one that is on its own, we're gonna put everything in here. But this is never gonna have more than 10 and not form a material to make one metal. Now let's just run the wires. And the last wire to combine with the other one that we had before. Now connect here. As you see, it's turned off. It's turned on because they don't have enough materials. Now let's put another resistance repeater facing the block here. So now this powered block here is now an AND gate. Only when this redstone torch is off, it will allow this other stone torch to make the block tick and release the alloy into the crucible. Now, just for the sake of testing, I'm gonna remove the crucible and the thermometer for a little bit and replace it with a storage chest so we can actually test it. Now the scaffolding is missing. You already have enough limonite, but don't have enough carbon. So let's give it 2 carbons and no, this mangan is calcite. come back. Now as you see, is now off. Both repeaters are off, saying that it can work. When the crucible requests more items, we have carbon, limonite, and calcite. Again. And now we have run out of materials. So even if I click here, nothing else will arrive. Cut. Now just have to do the same thing for the other ones. This one here gonna be for the other recipe of iron that now uses hematite. Hematite, carbon, and calcite. This one going to be 5 hematites exactly, and each one going to be 1 and 1. Run the cable. Connect it. Put the item on meter or weighted, medium weighted to stop it. Less than 5. Equals 0. Equals 0. You are in the way. One more cable here, and one more cable down there. Connect. Repeater facing the block to lock it, and repeater that wants to allow the next one to work. Let's grab the material back. You come back to your place here. You can get 2 carbons. You can get 2 calcites. You can get 1 calcite, 2 calcites, 2 carbon, and you have hematites. Now pulse. We got the first limonite. Not the pulse. We got the second limonite. Another pulse. The first hematite. And because I only give it 5 hematites, even if I press the button, nothing else will come over. Cut. Now make the other 2. For this one here, I want to make it invar. So I require 1 for iron and 1 for nickel. This is going to be shorter because it's just 2. 2 iron, 1 nickel, and connect. Everything as you might expect. Equal to 0, because it's only 1 invar, and 2 iron. Connect the cables, of course. I always take the 2 I am using at the moment out. It seems that my mind cannot process the thought that you're gonna need that, so don't put it away. Face the block, face down. And the last one here is going to be stainless steel. That's a 4 material, so one for iron, another one for nickel, one for chromium, and one for manganese. The original recipe require invar, but I tested as Bear said me that it's now fixed and you can actually use the recipe to make invar together here. That is 2 to 1 to make it 3. And this requires 3, so instead of replacing 4 irons, I'm gonna place 6 irons. Gonna place 1 invar, 1 nickel to make it the invar with the other ones, and another one for each one of the chromium and manganese. Equal to 0, equal to 0, equal to 0, minus the 6. Run the cable and connect. I know it is a very exciting building. Can hardly wait to have so much time with me, didn't you? For me to show you my latest contraption and all the things that keep getting in the way. Now repeater there and there. With this, we should all be set. So let's go for the last test. Pick everything back. Give it some limonite. 1 carbon. 1 calcite. This will still have 1 calcite, 1 carbon. The hematite, the iron, the nickel, and this new iron, the nickel, the chrome, and the manganese. Now pulse limonite iron. Another pulse hematite iron. Another pulse invar. And another pulse rogue iron and all the pieces of the material to make it stainless steel. So we actually made it. This is a sequencer quad alloy smelter. At this point it will be over, but inspired by Nets MC multi-alloy, I also gonna do something fancy. Oh no. Oh no, I have to fall down now. Because you see, there is 2 materials that are now important to make stuff here from stainless steel, invar and iron, that is also make steel later on. Like we have here ingots and long rods. those are materials that I cannot make it anywhere else more easily. It's more the long rods. I can turn ingots into plates and all that stuff quite easily using some machines here, bending mill and everything else, but long rods only from sticks, and I need to use a hammer or a welder later on, so we need to actually make them. So let's make it a system to actually switch which one we're gonna make it. You already have this cable here coming down here. Let's put in some blocks that I don't have with me. The cables come from here, so let's put a block here and bring the cable one down here. This way I'm gonna click into the wire into the crossings to make it pour. So let's bring the cable forward like so, here and here. Now I'm gonna place a redstone torch into each one here and connect. But the question is why I am doing this. The molds, as you saw before, are set to input with redstone. As they are gonna cause it to pour immediately. Now if you lock it with the pulse, remember this power here, this cable is power ready all the time. So if you connect the powered cable into this direction here, it's going to burn it out. Same thing here. But if you leave it as it is, it will have some problems that might arrive from how we're gonna select it. So you need to actually put a repeater to avoid the redstone signal coming back and keeping this block here that it's supposed to tick not ticking and locking out the system. Now here is where I'm gonna decide which side I'm gonna work. So you just have to invert. Redstone repeater for the one that be able to tick when the lever is off. In this case, ingot. Ingot is the default. Then the long rods is the opposite. It's gonna be a redstone torch, keeping this block power ready, avoiding it from ticking. So when I click the button, you can see that only this side actually got illuminated. If I switch this lever here from ingots to long rods and go down there, it's now the opposite. Only this one here was able to actually burn it. So we are ready. And here we have the molds. We have 9 molds from ingot into the side here, all with copper below it, outputting for now into this lead chest. And the other side, same thing, but this time here we have 9 molds for the long rods into a lead chest. here I have the temperature to turn off the crucible by lifting up this glass here. For now I'm gonna use the fuel one that I still have to manually start up. Later on I might evolve the system here to use electric heaters, so I can make it less ugly with this cable here, and might even be able to actually make it automatic when needed. And on the other side, this is the temperature. It's gonna send a signal to pour the metal into the mold and request more materials. On next MC video, while I was testing the pulse with you, it sent all the material to the crucible. I have to clear it before. Back again into the next MC video. He don't use the both sides of the crucible, he uses the same side, having the two side by side, and the other side here he uses for weight sensor into the crucible, so only when it is empty is going to request more material. But one thing that I don't like, and I even watch the videos sometimes, that it can actually self-lock itself, because if the crucible is empty, it's going to send a signal requesting more, and we will stay that way until it's not empty anymore. But if there is nothing else to pour, it will be poured and they do not allow it to tick. So in this case here, where the tick to request material is and powering is automatic, that won't happen because it is based on the temperature of the crucible. So when it gets cold enough, it will be able to request more material. And that is why some problem that it receives too fast, but so far never happened before. I need my shovel to actually remove the items inside the crucible. And as I pick at the redstone torches, lamps, if you want to make it somewhat prettier, just pick some wires and place redstone lamp here, so you can see when this has run out of material, or you can place a torch and invert it. So when it is empty, it's going to turn off the light. So you choose if you want the light to show it can work or cannot work. That's totally up to you. In this case, that's inverted, so it shows it when it can't work. When it can work. But because this is in the back, I should probably make it one taller. Headstone. So now we can kind of see. We can actually offset here and place the lamp into the other side if you want to. So those two cannot work here, but those here will work. So I need to get more material to make iron from limonite and hematite. Still got one for inver and all the stainless. Gonna fix up. So now all four of them can work. But of course my plan is not to have manually feed the hopper itself, is to use storage to store things on it. But you have a problem here, because there is a burning box here. We have the fire hazard in the 3x3 area. So 3 for the top, because burning box, as the two tips say, can put things on fire in a radius of 3 meters. I never know if it's 3 meters in a cube or it's a prism. If it's a cube, so it's a 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. If it's a prism, then see it's gonna get smaller. So anyway, it is 1 with the crucible, 2 the hopper, 3 to this other hopper here. So above that is kind of safe. Wait, so it's actually safe here? Because it is here. 1, 2, 3 on the hopper. And the hopper are below the line. So it is safe to actually use the wood ones. Anyway, for some of them I'm going to use mass storages. Just have to find it. Here we go. But we still have a very troublesome power here. For things like this, hematite here, that is fine. I don't have any use for it, so pick everything here. Yellow limonite. You pick as much as you want. Brown limonite. You can pick as much as you want as well. And then we come here, carbon. I don't want you to hold that much carbon, because the woody item barrel is 5,000 items capacity. The better one is 10,000. And the mass storage is 1 million. So I don't want them to hog all the items here, because I'm gonna connect this place here with my process line. So this will be keeping fed by the system. That's why I make this sequencer here, because they're gonna be always filled with items to make more of these alloys that I require a lot. I'm going to start using steel like crazy, so I need a place to turn to make iron. I'm still going to require invar to make tanks and other stuff that require invar for now. And stainless steel to mess with the acids, and later on to upgrade it to high voltage. So I need to have a good amount of it. I want them to store eating, but not having everything taken by it. So I require a storage that I can set a filter and don't hold too much items. Fortunately, Greg solved our little problem, because now can take 4 plates of plastic and 3 screws, and we're gonna make a plastic storage box. And they have a lower capacity than the any other options here. Like this one here is 1024. If I place it into another configuration, it's now 500. Into the other one, 250. And the last one, the smallest one, that is 2 stacks. So for those, I can use this one here that won't store too much. So I can pick the calcite and their carbon. and place them here. You could take this 3, use this 3 here, this one, and this one. Now you're gonna hold the items to make the alloys, but not take everything for yourself. There will be some left into the system, so if I want to make something else, I can just go here and grab it. But as you see, they are not dropping because I need to pick my bunker wrench and command them to fill the inventory below. Because the hoppers are powered up, they are not picking items from the inventory above while that's so. And I cannot wait for them to actually get triggered to actually fill the system here. But to be honest, this is not ideal. This is still too much. Because there is this one can hold 2 stacks on it and another stack into the hopper itself. So it is 3 stacks here. If you had any more alloys here that require calcite or carbon, I'll have to wait until this one got completely full before filling the other ones. So into the future, the best one would be to have item filters into the hoppers inserted directly, so only the hopper is gonna have items. This is probably gonna be the final stage of the alloy smelter. Now I have been rambling for quite a while. It's time to actually put this to work. All things have at least one alloy to be made. I believe I have 2 iron for limonite, 2 iron for hematite, I believe 2 inverse, and some stainless steel. So I can test if they actually work and the pouring of materials. And by the way, if it's not cross your mind, you can actually later on cover the cables like so to make it more pretty. You can use a chisel to make it look different. Place some decoration here and hide this bulk setup here. You won't be needing here a lot of time. I have my thermometer. Yep. It is empty. And I need to actually light it up before I can start watching it. Let's pick a fitting tinder. And yes. This is a dense burning box, not a normal one. A normal one will take you forever. You will make it. I don't think so. It has requested the first item. When it got to that temperature, it requested the item. That is the first limonite iron here. For now it is very full because it takes time for it to actually become hematite. Then it's gonna reduct a lot. Like so. And then we become iron. We become even more smaller. I'm gonna request more items and pour the metal. As you can't see, it's made the rods here. Because it was for this place here. If I change to the other one, And now this one is the iron from hematite. I only make one. So it's gonna be a little faster because it is not a lot of materials. You become iron and cook until become rogue iron. That's why I made a temperature high lock. Now it's making invar. Invar is not a lot of material, but the iron itself is very heavy. And it's making everything ingots. And that is invar. I'm going to be poured and request to study more. And you can see the invar being poured down there. Have the iron here, I got the invar. This is the last invar. And then go for the stainless steel. That is the biggest recipe here, 9 ingots. As you can see, it takes a decent amount of time to actually be made. Just think how long it would take with a normal burning box, not a dense one. It would take 4 times longer. Yes, it was very painful. Very soon I'm gonna pour it out, so let's go to the other side to be able to watch. I covered it so you cannot see it. Very soon gonna be everything is a stainless steel ingot. Now let's flick the lever to make it long rods. And they're gonna take forever to heat up back. Careful to not touch it, or you might die. And you can cover the cables below the crossing as well, make things more pretty. There is no limit to your imagination to how you're gonna decor this and hide this abomination. Or not. Just don't put anything of wood close to it. We are close to it. And since this is the last patch, as you see the selfie, it's gonna hit that high temperature and stop. So be poured. And it has stopped at this temperature. So we still had some lineage into the how much it can take. A quartz is not is a little less than the ceramic one. It's about less than 20 Kelvin less, but it is lighter, so I really don't know if it is worth it, the hassle to do it. Now we have a longer rods into one side and ingots into the other. Now, how I plan to actually link this system here with my system. So for now, just use your imagination. And imagine that those will be the storage for items to be used from my main line here. Then I'm gonna run a pipe below it and then follow it. No, it's not follow, sorry. My parkour is rusty. I am very bad at parkour. Yes, I will just run a pipe on the back of the storages and connect. Very simple. And run all the way across. But now I have something very interesting that I can do. Instead of having those chests here, I can actually run a pipe to top here and connect it with this pipeline here. Only have to take my monkey wrench and set something like this here into the middle. 1, 2, 80, no. One time. It can accept the items from this direction but not emit. So the items will hit here and dead end. And suppose that there is not this chest here, it was a pipe into this hopper here, all the rods are gonna be on top. And same thing with this one here. Can have it here and wrench this to accept only and not emit. I connect the pipes here and is now linked to the pipe. We have some rig areas around the place here. In this case here, I placed so it has a lamp here. You could, in theory, place mass storages here to hold the ingots into one side and the long rods to the other. Or if you don't want to have this hassle here, just place storages on each side here. For the ingots. And if you want, you can connect the pipe to go below it or side it to have rods at the other side here. So there is many things you can actually work around here and end up with a very structured place. It's kind of overkill, but what is overkill with Gregtech? Nothing much. They're just saving the hassle. And everything from my process line arrive here automatically. I just flicker the fuel, turn my back, go my merry way, and everything is gonna be made. And then in the future I can actually connect those storage here to stop it from making that alloy when I get a certain amount. So I can set it here to when I have less than 3 stacks of stainless steel, make more stainless steel, so and so on. Just need to move a hopper, the master storage here to the end here, and have it connected with the prevent system here from with a item counter or stack counter, que é even more cheaper. Stack or meter uses at that place. It is iron, but it will measure stacks and help you with that. and you have here to shut it out. So if you want to put a lever here to manually stop it, is up to you. Anyway, we got to the end of this episode. This was On God. Thanks so much for watching.